Welcome to the Unpackers, the podcast of two boomers exploring the world of trading and investing, aiming for financial freedom and to make their kids proud. Join them on their mission.
Welcome to the Unpackers podcast.
Everybody can learn the technicals in that period of time, but then the execution, that's the hardest. I actually had a meeting yesterday with this spiritual coach because I was going crazy. Altcoins is a different story. That's been kind of like the thing this cycle.
Welcome to the Unpackers podcast. My name is Bart and I'm a trader on my way to success. My goal is to buy my son and myself a ticket to FC Barcelona game, all paid for by my trading profits.
My name is Ilko, and I'm a data-driven trader. And sometimes I feel like I've cracked the code. But other days, I feel like my kids putting in some random numbers would give a greater result.
My name is Molnar. Bart and Ilko call me the Gen Z Moonboy, and I'm here to help them to make their families proud.
And today is with us the composite trader himself, Lars. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. I just realized I have to talk in English now. I was like preparing in Dutch. I was like, okay, yeah.
It's in English.
Yeah.
Feeling much easier, all the terminology. And actually, this is the second time you are on our show.
Mm-hmm.
And a year has passed. And that was a little bit painful for me because I realized that I'm 1 year later in my crypto journey. And I still think I struggle in paying, that FC Barcelona ticket with my trading profits. And that made me realize what type of trader makes it in a year or 2 years and what person does not. Because they always say, yeah, in 2 years you're profitable. But I'm the living example that I'm not. So in your case, you see so many people who makes it and who doesn't.
I think it comes down to mistakes are repeated until they are learned. So you can make a mistake, and then some traders, they kind of let it slide. They don't journal it. They don't focus on what actually went wrong, do a deep dive into the technical aspect, the emotional aspect, and the psychology behind it. And then they move on to the next trade, and then they make the same mistake. And that kind of continues for a longer period of time. And then you have the trader that makes the mistake and takes the time to not just shove it to the side, but actually look at it, look what goes wrong, journal it, and is aware of the mistake that they made when the next day they are again in a live trading environment. And that's when you're like, okay, well, last time I did this, or last time I spontaneously entered the trade without pre-planning, it didn't work that good. So let me just hold off and wait this time for my actual pre-planning to play out and execute when the confirmations are present, and not FOMO or maybe over risk, or it depends on the individual what like their flaw is. But I think it comes down to, based on like the speed that you're progressing, mistakes are repeated until they are learned. And some people have to burn themselves a little harder before they learn than others. But I've personally noticed with myself and also with other traders that I've seen, I get sometimes asked questions in so much detail, and they are like, I did this, and then I felt so much greed and FOMO, and it affected the next trade because I had to wait for this 2-minute close, but then I was already halfway into the close entering, and it SFP'd. And they are like exactly aware of what went wrong, and those people oftentimes progress way faster. Because everybody can learn the technicals in that period of time, but then the execution, that's the hardest. And that's based around the psychology most of the time.
Everyone can turn into a profitable trader in a year or two, but to turn trading into something professional, that takes longer.
Yeah.
Both for these reasons, but also just because of capital, bills to pay and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
Because I am, and I've said this many times, 1000% sure that both of you are already profitable traders. When I told you guys to just take one trade a week and do that you did it for like 10, 11 weeks or something.
11 weeks, yeah.
Both your accounts were up over 10%. I think it was 15 and 20%, which is great in taking 10, 11 trades, which is really great actually with taking 10 or 11 trades. But it was due to the fact that I had to limit you guys to only taking one trade a week. And I'm not saying that you can only take one trade a week, but because I was giving you guys certain rules to stick to, you guys had no other choice than to wait for the perfect setup before you would enter, And also money wasn't really involved because it was a $250 account.
Sure, yeah.
And it was not an account that you guys were trying to flip to pay for a holiday or to pay the bills with. And that's where
Yeah.
psychology comes into play, and patience and emotions. And we actually took that away, you know? We basically took the emotions away, which in my opinion confirms that technically speaking, like he said, the technicals, you guys can execute decent trades, you know? But to turn that into something professional,
It's next level.
that's next level.
Yeah.
How many people do you have in your community?
In the total or the private server? We have
Let's say private who are committed to go for it.
we have around right now, I think 3,200 in the total, and around 600 in the private community.
Okay, so let's say from those 600, how many people actually do you see in that, obsessive way working about it?
I think like 10 to 15 names that truly stick out.
Fuck it, this is
That's the same in our community.
Yeah.
so little.
Yeah.
But you also have a lot of silent lurkers. I feel like that every now and then they shoot
Not-
you a DM. to
Yeah,
thank you,
not
and then
not
like,
everyone is
Yeah.
also actively trying to day trade. Some are just looking for some swing positions or just my overall
Right.
outlook on the markets. But you do have, I think, like 200 that are like actively also showing up to the live streams, watching it, trying it themselves, and then 10 to 15 of those right now, like I can just name, and they are like putting in hard work.
And those are the ones
And-
that
and-
ask you questions.
Yeah, but not only hard work.
You do have some
But-
silent
Yeah,
warriors as well.
yeah.
Because
But I
you
don't-
guys
I
are
don't know.
silent warriors. You guys are not very active in the chat. But I know that you guys
No.
are consuming the information and digesting it, and also every now and then asking questions.
Yeah.
But you're not very active.
No. I'm exactly playing that role.
Which is fine, right? Because you guys have families, full-time job, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a time thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So we can, I can lurk the data and
Mm-hmm.
I can watch the discords
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But to be active throughout the day, that's kind of difficult.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Which is fair enough. That makes sense.
Last year you had just recently launched your whole TCT community. I remember,
Yeah.
you were completely fed up with all the operational systems. So have you turned into the developer already?
Have I turned into
A
the?
developer, an ICT knowledgeable person.
I have a good developer now.
Okay, so you can
Yeah.
focus now on the core.
Yeah.
What has happened since your that moment until now?
I think the main thing is that now people have also seen way more of me and the way that I trade, because it's been 1 year. And the things I was talking about on the first podcast, they kind of materialized a bit more of different models and the way that I trade. And I've just compounded my account. The community has grown. And I think that's the biggest thing. I released the mentorship 2025. So it's just kind of an updated model with like some advanced details if you truly understand the first one. And those are the biggest differences.
But the system is still the system, and
It's still the same.
you did not improve any improve or change any.
Just I realized while taking the trades that some details made it extra high probability to me, which is a bit more an advanced thought of like these tiny things I'm looking for, and that's what I added to the mentorship. So it's just an advanced continuation is what I call it. But the model with the 3 tabs, all the same.
It's not called a 3 drive or any other
No,
kind
no
of
3
frustration that you have with people are picking, stealing your system, whatnot.
It's Wyckoff.
That's why.
Wyckoff,
Yeah. Okay. But what happens, by the way, with you and moving out of Rotterdam? Are you leaving the Netherlands? What is that whole chapter about?
I actually had a meeting yesterday with this spiritual coach because I was going crazy. Because I'm selling my place in Rotterdam. That's where I'm currently located. And it's mainly because I've just outgrown the apartment. Because I went there when I was 18 and I was still studying at the Erasmus University. I was still trying to make trading work. And now I have like leveled up as a person, but I'm still in the same location. So it's like the walls are coming closer to me when I'm
Literally,
sitting there
yeah, yeah, yeah.
working.
Right.
So I was looking for new apartments in Rotterdam, just some better, you know, in a higher building. I like to be high up because it brings me a lot of calmness in the mind when I'm just looking at a view. And especially in trading, when you're busy and you're thinking of all these patterns and potential outcomes, when you can have like a relaxing environment, it helps a lot. But I was just getting rejected, like left and right. People not replying to my email for a potential viewing, or I went to the viewing and then, you know, I'm with my friend, two 21-year-old guys that want a better looking apartment.
Yeah, right.
So we always lose against the 30-year-old with a stable income, you know?
That sense. Okay.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I was not completely sure if I wanted to stay in Holland or move to a completely different location. So I was meeting with a coach and she was analyzing my brain and some patterns. And she was like that I needed to move out of Holland, which is something I also want deep down, but I do have.
Whoa. You were meeting with a coach
Yeah.
to discuss your first. By the way, this is still a crypto podcast. So for anyone listening in,
That's my
this is not a lifestyle podcast. But I'm just curious.
Yeah.
And her advice was you need to move out of Holland.
Yeah, I had to fill out like a form that connected different parts of your brain, and then it's very hard to explain, but she was very smart. So she asked smart questions, basically making me come to the conclusion myself. And I was like, what am I even still doing here? I've always wanted to leave Holland. So, but I still have people that I'm very close to that live here and some other things. But probably I'm not searching for an apartment here, but completely somewhere else. Yeah.
Cape Town?
Probably more in the Singapore region.
Okay.
So Singapore, Hong Kong,
Bali.
Tokyo. Not really Bali. Doesn't really attract me that much.
Same.
But especially because this month in September, coming back to crypto, it's been one of the tougher months because I've missed.
You steal my bridge, by the way, but continue. Yeah.
I've-
Nice bridge. Yeah.
I've missed 8 out of 10 quality setups because they confirmed during Asia. So I was like, let me just move to Asia now.
It's a bit of frustration.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
you move to Asia and then everything happens during New
Yeah,
Year.
yeah, right.
That's what I'm scared of as well. Yeah.
But how do you? I think because I remember that you sent me in a text message at some point as well that you need to stop flip flopping systems. It's the same as he says, and I'm still I'm still trying to make that work somehow. But how can you stay this grounded, patient when you are missing setup after setup according to your system? Because your system is quite reactive in the sense that you need to wait for a break of structure again. You have a pretty tight stop loss.
Yeah.
I've had that so many times. You walk out of a meeting and damn, the whole setup is gone. Or
And also way harder to get like a re-entry. There aren't really that many re-entries when you miss the initial entry, which is frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
I truly look at it more from the perspective of it's just another challenge. It's like if I can overcome a 3-week period where I miss setup after setup and I can still remain calm, then what else is gonna get me? Like
a
almost
mind
nothing.
game.
Yeah, it's just a mind game.
Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I always look at it. I always say to people, the market happens for you, not against you. So it was just testing how good my actual patience is because I preach it. Now I had to actually execute it myself. Yeah.
But still, every day, when this community wakes up, they're paying for the Discord. They want setups. They want money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not,
I'm not gonna give a mediocre setup. I'd rather not make money than not losing money is if you cannot lose money in trading, then it's very easy to make money. So although I've missed 8 out of 10 setups, if you have 2 good ones, you're at 10% again.
Right.
I think I just hit my take profit on oil, like as we're
Oil.
speaking right now. Yeah, which was like a 1 to 5. So, I only need 10% a month with the risk that I'm taking.
Mm-hmm.
So
What platform do I need to try oil? That's
You
complete.
trade on Bybit?
yeah, TradFi.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Everyone is telling me.
So you can literally
On Bybit?
transfer. Yeah, so in Bybit you have just your unified trading account.
Yeah.
And they also have TradFi.
But they don't
features
have it
now.
on EU platform yet. But it's
Not
coming.
on EU platform.
Ah, right.
But you can simply transfer from a unified trading account to your TradFi account, and then it goes straight into MetaTrader 5,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can trade from MetaTrader 5, which I've traded Forex in the past very often.
Right.
Super chill. And the USDT gets switched in like USDX or something, or a different USDT, but it's the same.
But the
It's
trading conditions are good.
very good.
Yeah.
500x leverage on oil.
Serious?
Really?
Yeah, that's always really high on oil and gold
Yeah.
and stuff.
So you can just, let's say you want to risk a 500 per trade, you could just put 500 on the account and you're going to be good. Just a bit more to avoid getting liquidated. But
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
you can just risk technically your whole account. So you don't have to keep a lot of money on it for margin purposes of whatever.
But otherwise, the ticker behaves the same as
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bitcoin. It's just a line, basically.
I love it.
But since when do you trade oil?
I've never traded before.
Just like that, you woke up. Well, why not?
Yeah, I was looking at a macro play on oil, like a potential massive reversal on the high time frame, and I just checked the low time frame. I was like, this is a good setup, and then I took it. Yeah,
What is the price of oil? I don't even know what
like 64
Yeah, well,
for what for a
dollars
dollars.
per one
yeah. How do you call it?
Yeah.
Gallon. What is it?
gallon. I don't know, like 1 watt.
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's the same setup that you're
Always.
you're okay. Stupid question. It
Mhm.
just behave the same.
Yeah, it
Low
moves
time frame,
different.
high time frame.
Yeah, simple. This was a 4 tap, so just an extended tap. So you had already a Model 2, and then you came back for extreme amount once
But-
more.
But are you going to trade that more often in the way that like Forex is an asset to trade, and this one might be easier, more predictable, more liquidity than crypto?
I'm mainly going to trade on the side, but a bit more from a mid to high time frame perspective, because sometimes you have super clean models, but I don't have the mental capacity to watch so many crypto pairs and then also so many commodity pairs or Forex pairs. Because then I'm just analyzing all the time, but I'm not executing because I'm keeping track of too many things. So I can keep it on the side with like mid to high time frame plays, so that when I have the time, I can just check it, and it takes longer to develop and to confirm. So you have easier to
slower.
react. Yeah. But sometimes I look back and I'm like, this is such a textbook setup. I would love to take that, but then I just need to monitor it. So I have a watch list with like some commodity pairs and some stocks as well.
A question that we got on X actually is in what aspect, be it technical or psychological, did you improve or can you still improve in your daily trading?
What technical or psychological aspect can I still improve? I think it would always be psychological, because I'm not a robot. So I would say letting my trades run, because I know sometimes that I can extend my take profit target beyond my technical target, because it's like in a
Right.
massive pivot zone. So it can go way beyond, for example, the range high within accumulation. But I don't particularly have, in that case, a system of, you can take profit at certain other key levels. But I like to work really systemized, so that when I'm beyond my target, it's a bit more random. So on every push in my desired direction, the profits increase. I'm so much more tempted to take another partial profit, to the point where you're like in the trade with 5% left of the remainder of the position. And it's basically not even worth it to hold it for higher or lower if it's a distribution.
Right. Right.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
But even if I'm sometimes saying like, okay, this trade can run and we can extend the target, like I'm not taking profit until, and then it's a target way beyond the technical target, I'm still so tempted to take profits in between that period. And I oftentimes do then convince myself it's okay to take a partial. When it's not, but I still do it. So that's always been my biggest problem when starting trading, like scared of losing profits. That was my biggest obstacle, not letting the trades just play out. But now it's beyond the technical target, but it used to be just within the play itself. So scared of losing the money, losing the profits. Yeah.
But sometimes it's only depending on your system, right? Because I think you had an APT trade or whatever.
Yeah.
I think you onboarded, everything went well. Yeah. And then it reverted all back to your. So you have no sort of system in place where you, I don't know, take 50% anyway, or is that?
Now the beauty with APT, I think if my community watches this, they all know the APT trade. That was like Wyckoff in Wyckoff. So we traded just the refined model, and then you can target the high time frame target of the higher time frame model. So if that's the case, I'm still good to go. Like I'll always target the high time frame model, and I'll just go risk free once the low time frame is complete. But yeah, that ended up reversing. Like the whole market is just having an upswing followed by a correction and no real momentum. Besides MNT, I saw you post about MNT. I was in a swing long from the bottom.
Really?
And I cashed out.
Big holder of MNT. So I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was a nice tip that I got from someone who had some valuable information.
It's playing out.
See, that's the kind of stuff he doesn't share, eh?
Yeah.
He shares a lot.
Okay, yeah.
This kind of thing.
But also on this dip right now, like it's holding like crazy.
Going crazy.
Yeah. It's just holding. Every altcoin is dumping. MT is just flatlining.
You go check the bottom of
yeah,
MNT.
super clean chart.
Super clean model.
Yeah.
I was in that position. And then like the max target was like 1.1. And then it went to just 1.7.
And now it's potentially breaking out of that accumulation range. Has been trading in that range for 2 years, I think, as well. But so many altcoins have been trading.
But MNT is the Bybit coin, right?
Yeah. So Bybit,
I did not know that.
Officially the Bybit native token, but Bybit is gonna drive a lot of utility now back to MNT. So here's my tip: the coming years, MNT is gonna gain some market share. And you can also see BNB went crazy. So where's the money gonna flow next? OKX token, Bybit token, so OKB, MNT, and I think with the announcements that I believe Bybit is going to make in the upcoming months, because they now get the MiCA regulation, so they can finally start driving utility back again to their native token, because they had to stop their original native token, right? And they merged that one with MNT. So it got rebranded and merged with a different token into MNT.
Never knew that.
They had no association with it anymore because of the regulation. Now they got the license. So now they're going to associate themselves, or they are associating themselves already again with MNT and drive a lot of utility to the token. So for example, I don't know, honestly don't, but if you hold a token on the Bybit platform and you stake it, maybe get some fee discounts, or maybe...
I already got a notification this morning that like you get 25% discount on your fees if you have certain amounts of MNT.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of utility. But from what I've heard, there's big stuff coming. So I bought a big bag like 2 months ago. And I'm very happy that I did. Sold my initials, and now I'll just see. I sold my initials, and now I'm just going to let it run.
Forget the shoes for the kids. MNT is the way to go.
Yes, sir, Annie. Yes, sir, Annie. I need a mantle, I think. Well, let's talk about... you just mentioned it already. Let's talk a little bit about the market, because I think you and I are in the same bubble. Well, you are a main voice in the bubble, obviously with Yip and others. And your position obviously is that we are now in a macro PO3 with the manipulation range. We are most likely distributing.
Also good to note the date, maybe 26th of September right now.
Thank you. Yeah.
Is it 26th? Yeah, it is.
end of September.
It is.
But there are other voices again who are at this point saying people are going to miss the boat. They're going to be left out. Where as retailer, obviously your stance is clear, but where as retailer should you believe in right now?
Where should Bart and Ilko believe in?
Yeah.
I can imagine that's very difficult.
It's hard to apply a filter.
The thing is, personally, I would never at this point of the market hold any Bitcoin if you bought properly, because it has gone from 15,000 to 120,000, which is absolutely insane. So the risk to reward of holding Bitcoin in case it goes from 120 to 150, like if you already bought properly, you're up amazing, right? So, and then in combination with my technicals, I'm just not seeing any strength for like continuous momentum towards the upside. So it might take the all-time high one more time, but I'm expecting it more from a deviation perspective and not a continuation towards, a 140 or a 150 whatsoever. And then altcoins is a different story. That's been kind of like the thing this cycle, is that altcoins, some have gone up tremendously in 2024 and then corrected 90% and basically never had any momentum back up. And some pairs look very distributive to me right now, and others look accumulative. So I'm also like, I don't know exactly what's going to happen with those altcoin positions, but if I see an accumulation, I'm going to just trade the setup, and then I can make so much more money on a proper high quality setup on like a 1 to 10 RR if it's a swing position, and then higher risk, and just manage that as I trade any other setup, than holding a spot position and hoping that it's simply going to trade higher. So I have some spot based on accumulation models, and also the invalidations are the same as if it was a leverage trade. I just a bit more flexible. But other than that, I'm mainly just focusing on trading.
I traded the whole SUI setup with you, by the way. That wasn't
from the long from April.
Yeah.
Yeah, banger.
Yeah, but it's interesting to see what KOL teacher, whatever. I think you both have a very big influence on who I am as a trader, and I'm not there yet. But I think the SUI one in particular was very interesting because I got in with this, following your pre-planning and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But following it up until the moment you said, now I'm out, that was for me interesting, because I think it went all the way down again to a certain accumulation point of interest again.
Mm-hmm.
And afterwards it went up, not exactly to the height it had before, but it started to distribute. And then at a certain moment you said, okay, now I'm pulling the plug.
Yeah.
For me, that was very interesting, because that when does that moment come? Because you could have waited until even higher. I don't think there's much of a question in here. More sort of, trading alongside you or observing. That was very interesting. But is that something you get a lot of feedback as well from people in your community, that okay, watching over your shoulder to see when because it felt right, because exiting with the master felt right. The same I have with you, Is that a comment you get often, the over your shoulder perspective?
I think it's just like, I was targeting a new all-time high when I initially entered, and I got all the confirmations that it was going to go to a new all-time high, because I got the initial setup and it broke way past the range high, simply delivering a break of structure. So I was expecting a higher low, and I had no resistance until a new all-time high. But then we created a macro distribution, and that's exactly when I told the people that I was exiting. Like, I was up a lot and I got the confirmation that it was going to go down. I was on vacation at that time. If I'm actively trading, I'll take partial profits and I'll hedge short, and then it kind of doesn't matter. But in this case, I was not actively trading. I missed the initial entry. I wasn't looking to actively trade because I was on vacation, and it was like 3+% risk on a 1 to 20 RR at that specific point. And I was like, I'm happy with these profits. I got the distribution confirmation, and I exit. So I think what it shows is that I just follow my system. Lots of traders will look at how much they will be making if it makes a new all-time high. And they get so attached to that certain outcome that it kind of feels like a pain if they have to cut the trade earlier. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it could go to a new all-time high. It had the potential. I'm making X amount of money if it does. But now I get the confirmation to exit. And then kind of, instead of looking at it like, I just had an amazing trade, they're like, oh, I missed out on X amount of profits because it did not go to a new all-time high. And what you see is that I'm just following the system. So I just got a confirmation for a distribution. I exited the entire position because I was genuinely just happy with the trade. And I think right now it's like down 20% from it.
Yeah.
But normally I would take partial profits and I'll open a hedge short. And then you got a long from below and a short from above.
Then you're the man.
And then you feel like a king. And if you're hedged, you feel good.
Yeah.
But I was on vacation, so I was just happy with the profits.
Okay. You have been in the studio before, and I've watched that episode again. And then the whole 5% profitability month over month came up again. And I think you were here and some other traders.
I
Yeah.
think it was that week. 5% a week.
It's sort of afterwards. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys. I don't just to put this a little bit black or white. I felt some healthy competition on Twitter. Well, or whether that could be right.
Between us?
Yeah, between you guys.
Oh, really? Oh, I had no competition.
I don't know. Maybe it's
It was a good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a podcast of you actually here a year ago. There was a slight quarrel or a discussion about 5% profitability versus other percentages. Where is that currently at? What is your stance now on that? What is a lot or what is not?
I remember it was not about the profitability, but it was more about when do you consider yourself, or where does someone consider themselves a profitable trader? And Lars was talking about 5% a week. I was talking about more like if you do 5% a month, I think you're doing great, as a trader. My view is still the same. I think his view is probably also still the same, or maybe slightly adjusted.
No, I would call someone a profitable trader for sure if they can realize 5% a month. But just how much you can actually realize on a weekly, monthly basis, it can be so much higher than most people think or get taught or in that.
What would you consider a realistic amount?
It depends on the month, obviously.
Yeah,
it depends on the opportunity in the market.
Let's say an average of, okay, so you're trading full time now for a while. Let's say an average full time trader over the course of 2 years, like on average a month, ballpark.
I'm saying 10%.
Yeah, that's realistic to me as well. 10% a month.
But what I think a big difference can also be because there are some traders coming into the community, and then I talk about I'm risking 1% on the trade. But my 1% is not 1% of my equity, my total account balance across all different platforms whatsoever. My 1%, it's a number that I'm comfortable with losing, and I could lose over and over and over again, and I can still execute the next trade in the same way. So if you're a beginner trader and you have like 100,000 based on previous crypto investments, you shouldn't be risking $1,000 per trade. You're going to blow it. So maybe for you, the 1% is $100 risk. That's what you're comfortable with losing. So it could also be that, I'm saying 10% a month, but I'm trading overall with an amount that is lower and more comfortable than me versus someone who is trading, even if we have the same equity, but with a higher risk, and they call that their 1%.
Right.
You know, but for me, the 1% is just a number I'm comfortable with losing over and over and over again. And then with the trades that I'm taking, 10% a month is definitely 100,000% doable. And the beauty right now is that it's been a year that we have the community online, and that's I think if you calculate the averages, we're above that 100%.
And how do you determine what number is comfortable for you?
I just do it based on my trading portfolio still. So for me, 1 hour is 2%.
Right.
And then I risk 1.5 hour on each trade. So for me, one trade is 3% of my trading portfolio. Right now, my trading portfolio is slightly smaller because I'm heavily invested in crypto assets.
Mm-hmm.
But then once I take profit on those, my trading portfolio will grow again. And still, 1 hour is 2%. But then the 2% will
The percentage will be the
bigger.
same.
And I think everyone probably has their own way of identifying and determining that risk. But for me, it's at least the way that I do it. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's really just a number you're comfortable with losing. I cannot make it more simple than that. For me, it's not really even just a percentage of a total value. Just like, hey, I'm putting that much money on my account. That's all that I need as margin to realize positions. Because
Right.
you do have leverage and the amount of max USDT you can use on the position depending on the leverage. So I just put money on a Bybit account, which I can fill all my positions with, and then you run that number up, and then you withdraw that from the account, put it in some wallets,
Right.
and then run it back up again.
And since recent, you are also teaming up with the other endeavor from Yip, Brighter Data.
Yes, Mr. Sergio.
Mr. Sergio. How does this work with your system?
At the moment, I think I'm one of the traders using it to the least of its actual potential. Like the platform itself, and then the way that I'm using it, because sometimes I have so much confidence in my technical analysis. I'm just like, I don't care if it's an 80% chance of this and that happening.
Right.
Like, this will probably be the 20% it's not. But like, I'm also wrong often in those situations. I'm trading pivot points. So like I also said, with my biggest struggle, sometimes holding trades past their target, if you can have a statistical edge that literally says 80% of those weeks or those months go to a target beyond my target, that's for me something I can hold on to.
No,
keep
or
the
if
trade.
it says
Yeah,
like
sure,
100% of weekly candles over the last 3 years have seen more displacement, then
Exactly.
it doesn't make sense to take profit yet, for example.
Or I'm looking at a higher low and I'm seeing my accumulation model, and there's like a 15% chance of taking out a previous swing low. And I'm like, I'm expecting a higher low here. Sometimes feels like magic if you can combine those numbers with your actual technical confirmation.
There's also when I reached out to you like months ago, I was like, I think that for you both when to take profit with the distance stats, but also those pivots, because he's trading pivots, you know, and the timing of those pivots, it does matter, you know.
Yeah.
And if you can combine that with your models and system, you can create an extra edge, even if it increases your win rate by 2-3%. It's worth it.
I've also said it can help you a lot with the context building, which is what most beginner traders struggle with, because you cannot just trade any 3-tab model that you see. It's not going to work. You need to know the overall expectations of, okay, I'm expecting this to happen, and then that's where I'm looking for that 3-tab model. Yeah.
Context building. I think that's the greatest terminology and it is perspective. And actually, that I asked Sergio, who was just before here, the same question after the recording. I asked him, what would you have been professionally if you did not go? Let me put it this way. So my films. So I think you're very good in putting the right terminology, the right moment. In other words, you could have been a great teacher as well if you weren't in crypto. Obviously, now you combine it too. What would you have been in daily life if you wouldn't have been in crypto?
If I would not be a trader, what would I be? Oof. I would be running a business. Maybe in I like to always watch like watch dealers, people buying watches and flipping watches.
Oh,
I like that a lot. Or
That's
maybe,
good.
maybe I'll be, I don't know, beating the casino at the game.
well, I don't know. I don't know if that's a proper business model, but
I think the only, from a personality trait, I really like to work hard all the time. I'm calm when I'm working. I get stressed when I'm just like doing nothing for a long time because I start
I feel you.
I get the itch to get
Yeah.
back into the work. But the problem with trading is that sometimes doing less is doing more. So putting in more hours behind the chart, it's not going to deliver proper returns because you just need to wait.
Probably actually the opposite.
It's the opposite. So if I was not into trading, I would probably be running a business where actually putting in more hours, getting more stuff done can, result into immediate profits or just better action taking. Crypto's
what were you studying in Rotterdam?
a business. Yeah. But
Yeah.
that business
Yeah.
study that
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
I found high school, like the last 2 years of high school was more difficult than the first year of that business. Yeah.
I hope they're listening. Okay, and the other thing is you really are good at teaching this stuff. I think you both are. Where does that talent come from?
I don't know. I truly don't know. But one thing, like if you can teach it good, you can trade it good.
Yeah, that is also what I was about to say. If I would think about that question, I would probably say like teaching trading helps me to stay on top of my game as well, but also to just trade better. Yeah, I don't know. That's the best way to
Yeah.
explain it. That's why I enjoy teaching.
Mm-hmm.
We should
Both
be teaching.
because you can see the results for other people, but also just to be very selfish. It just helps me as well with my trading.
I've said this before.
Just the way it is.
It's optimal if you can have a mentor and a mentee. So if you can learn from someone who is ahead of you and teach from someone
Yeah.
you are better than, it can help you a lot. Yeah. Running a community, people asking questions, me explaining,
Yeah.
it's making me sharper. Also getting up in the morning, it's like I have to get up in the morning
Yeah.
because I have to have a live stream where I plan everything.
Good examples, for example, right now I'm teaching my brother how to trade, and everything about trading. If I would teach him and the next day I would force him to explain it to someone else,
Mm-hmm.
he would first of all pay much better attention when I'm explaining, but also when he starts explaining it to that third guy, while he is explaining it, everything will start to click. I have that so often when I'm charting certain assets and I'm explaining it to the people. I'm like, oh yeah, the rhythm, it starts to make sense.
Right.
And then,
Right.
or sometimes I'm looking at a setup and then I'm explaining it from A to Z, and then while I'm explaining, I'm like, this actually doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
What I'm doing here,
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it's not a high probability setup, or So yeah, for me, it's for two reasons why I'm enjoying teaching people, because you help people, which is what I really like, but also to be very selfish, it just helps me as well.
I am in this current position. Just the fact that you guys know me is because I was recording YouTube videos, titling it Post Trading Analysis, where I was just talking about what I did to myself to learn from it. And I just uploaded it.
Yeah.
That's how I got some views that compounded. But I did it for me. I was just doing my post trading analysis to get better. So I was just recording YouTube videos talking about why I took that trade and things I did right and I could have done better.
And then you mentioned a specific person you can learn from. Is there a specific person right now you're still learning from? You look up to or whatever?
In the trading game, not really. I'm really just locked in on my own thing.
Yeah.
But I do listen to podcasts of like people that are just wiser and older and more experienced in life. Like I don't know if you know Chris Williamson.
Yeah.
I like his podcast a lot. And Alex Hormozy. I like to listen to
It's the
those.
same names that Michael van der Poppen also knows.
Yeah.
You guys should start listening.
Yeah. Guess so.
So more in that aspect.
Yeah. Right.
Wisdom.
And a certain Mr. Tony Robbins popped up on your.
Yeah. I'm going to his event in Los Angeles, the 7th of October. Yeah.
But it was. I don't know. You helped me to describe how it actually went. But basically, you put out a tweet up there that you're saying I'm searching for life lessons, or how did it go?
Oh yeah. So I was just curious if what would happen if I had a mentor that could teach me so many more like wisdom and life things so much more faster. Also regarding like macroeconomics, I've just been focused and dialed in on the technical aspects of trading and having a system and mastering my own edge, compounding that. But I'm not that knowledgeable around world economics per se and how the world particularly works. So I was like, what if I could have someone who can teach me way more about macro stuff and overall just life lessons, wisdom, kind of in that area. And then through a connection, I got invited to that Tony Robbins event, which is like also in like the private sections, and it was crazy. I'm like, this is the universe talking to me or something. Yeah. Literally was right after I put out that tweet.
But those are two completely different things. One is, I don't know, maybe that you should have been taught in your studies. That's basically, it's a good professor who can teach you how, that kind of stuff. And the other one is the school of life.
Yeah.
What is more, where was more emphasis for you on? Because you're Jesus Christ, you're 23, 4, whatever you enjoy life.
21.
Kids will come. 21 even. So what do you worry about, man? It's just
wanting to be better.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's not. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, back to my question. What's more? Where are you more looking towards? What kind of information?
I would say a certain type of wisdom that can also come if you have a better network and you know more people, and also people in different fields. Also with the community, you have lots of people in different fields that I know now that are crazy in AI sections or whatsoever. But I think if you go to an event like Tony Robbins, where in sections where you have to pay a lot of money to get there, then you're gonna have a certain type of people that get attracted to that place. And Tony Robbins is obviously the guy runs 100+ businesses. So I think you have the chance to meet a lot of people who have the same type of, vision as you about life. Maybe they're doing their own businesses, but it is just around the area of improvement.
Yeah, of course you get much more connected.
Yeah.
Business clubs anyway.
Yeah.
But you have those in the Netherlands as well, obviously. But you being you need to go to LA for that.
Yeah, different places, different energy. I've never been to Los Angeles, so I'm curious.
The guy next to you is traveling a lot. Have you been to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I was really hoping to get a no here.
Well, I've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, for me, you were really Mr. Technical Analysis, but all of a sudden you started to talk about the blood moon and the stars and the galactic a couple of weeks ago. What was that?
That was partially sarcastic because I was on vacation for a month and I wasn't really active in the community and trading and giving guidance. And then I came back and I saw people talking about like a red moon and I don't know, the stars aligning, all that stuff. And then there was like this blood moon coming up. So I just decided to check out the dates of the red moon and the Bitcoin chart. And I was like, well, there is a pattern.
Even there.
Yeah, even there. There was some sort of a pattern. So I just posted it, but it was mainly sarcastic.
Luckily, I picked it up.
Yeah.
is it 100% sarcastic, or do you believe there's something around it, or it's just, I don't know, you could put every kind of parameter next to it and there's also a certain coincidence?
Yeah, I think that could be a thing, but I would have to dive so much deeper into it to actually believe it. But
Right.
I really don't need it in my trading, so I'm not gonna take the time to dive deep into it.
What about other cycles, like the 4-year cycle or any other kind of pattern? Is there something do you believe in those kind of thoughts, or?
Well, I think this cycle is like the cycle that disapproved most patterns in the usual crypto space, with Bitcoin making a new all-time high and altcoins rising afterwards aggressively, because it was quite the opposite. Bitcoin went to like 110 in Jan 2025, and then altcoins went up slightly and then just nuked twice as hard as Bitcoin, going back to 70, which is brutal. So I already said a long time ago, I think it's just a trader's market, and you just have to adapt to it being a trader's market. Like I think I have written a tweet that I've retweeted like 10 times, where I'm like, if you don't have actual entry precision and correct risk and trade management, your bullish swings are just going to keep on getting obliterated until you have no cash to actually enjoy a potential big push up. Because anytime you were like, let me just buy here because I think it's going to go higher, most pairs have just dumped and are low and not high. So I've just been trading, not focusing on historical patterns whatsoever.
So easy is the life of, just having a
It could be so
system.
easy.
Fuck
Yeah.
the rest. But you, by the way, you still did not convince Yip to get a white trading view background.
It's a must. It's a must.
Why is it a must?
Well, the thing is, my trading actually started going really good the moment I had a white background. I had a white background, and that's a fact. So I'm just saying, if you want to trade the way I trade, it went really good for me when I switched to white backgrounds.
You are using white background.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Doesn't
We
help
are.
them yet.
Yeah, but I'm trying to realize why that is. Why I do it actually. I don't know. It's sort of.
I think
it's,
I don't know, smart money concepts and white backgrounds, they just match more to me. But you do need good blue light glasses, or
Jesus. Yeah,
you wake up in the morning and boom.
yeah, if you think rationally about it, there's no reason to have white.
no, I'm never switching.
It's also
I
become
couldn't
some
handle
sort
that.
of a joke, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
But
yeah. If it works, it works.
it works.
It's as easy as that.
And to me, it is the most clear, though. Like, you can see the candles the best versus black, but everyone can have their own preferences.
Another thing I just realized, what happened to the whole ETF? Remember that at the I don't know, what was it, 60K or something like that? The ETFs were approved, and then every day people were posting what the ETFs were buying.
I never looked at it.
You hear
not
none of
once.
that anymore.
No.
But I also never looked at it once. I swear to God.
Like those inflow and outflow tweets of those.
Yeah,
But it was always in
propaganda
hindsight,
accounts.
right? It was always in hindsight. So the next day you see what the previous day was doing. But yeah, it doesn't... How are you going to use that? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And that's also one of the things, just like news events, you can put so much emphasis on it, but it's not going to help you in trading. The only thing that you can stick to and trust on is your trading system. And if you get your triggers, your confirmations, you have your context, and you execute your trades, and you do that for a long period of time, and I've been saying this many times to you,
yeah.
you're going to make money. But if at one time you don't take that trade because there's a news event coming, and all of a sudden that was a very good one, regardless if it's a good trade or a bad trade, all that you're doing is not executing your system consistently, and thus you're screwing with your data, thus you're screwing with your outcome, which might not be as profitable as it could have been just because you are skipping a trade due to a certain news event that is coming, or due to inflow or outflow. It doesn't make any sense because you can't control it.
Are you the kind of person that goes to these Dubai events or Singapore or wherever? Does that have your interest?
I've never gone to one, so maybe if I'm nearby and I'm curious to see who's showing up, but it's not
Singapore's next week.
on my mind of like, oh, I have to go there.
Dubai is fun though. Side events are crazy. The budgets are crazy.
The budgets are crazy.
It's fun,
But
but
it's the majority of the people that go there is horrible. Yeah. Yeah, my brother is smiling. My brother was with me last time. We've had a laugh. Oh my days. There's a minority of the people that I really like really, really think highly of. But then there's just a majority of the people that are just there to shill their projects, shill their exchanges, shill everything they can.
Yeah.
But I'm just there to enjoy myself at events and link up with the people that you know through Twitter, or have met a few times.
it,
And,
it could be one of your network events, obviously.
Let's say, for example, Lars goes there and I go to Dubai, then you're gonna go for dinner together, maybe, or maybe go to a side event together, and then have a few drinks, have a laugh, catch up, and that is something I really like. And every now and then you meet a new individual, you're like, this is a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
But 99% of the people just come up to you to show their projects. It's ridiculous, but it's fun.
Maybe that's a good question. What are the goals for you and your community in the next year, 2 years?
The goals for my community and me, I just wanna grow my account. Honestly, I've always had a goal of making 100 million before I was 25, and I've had that goal since I was 16, and it's written on a whiteboard, and I still have the same whiteboard. And then I have like these side goals which you scratch off, but then top right, it's always set 100 million before 25. So that's what I've just been focusing on while being grateful and enjoying. But that's been the goal. And I think the better I
Is
do,
the goal.
That is the goal. And then I think the better that I do, the better the community does as well. So.
What was your goal at 21?
I had to work
Fucking
for
bitches.
new shoes.
Fucking as many bitches as possible.
I'm not going to comment on that. But
Yeah, no comment.
They weren't all bitches, though. Some were nice.
Okay.
that is a scary sentence. And where are you roughly?
No comment.
I thought I'd just casually ask it, and then maybe it just falls for it.
We're gonna use this for the thumbnail though. Clickbait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to well, the other day you posted some I don't know, some 20K account. I would I would settle for that now. But would help me.
Oh, you would settle for the
For the 20K
Okay.
right now. That would be nice. But you did
Right.
post something, right? I think.
Yeah, it's like what I said with running up your account, moving profits into a cold wallet, for example. I noticed myself, if I keep too much money on the trading platform, I'm more vulnerable of just becoming like sloppy, if that's the right word to use,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
less strict with everything, because I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm just putting this up. It doesn't really matter that much. So when it becomes too much, I just put it on cold wallets, put it on ledgers, and then keep my exchange where I'm like, okay, there's, I don't know, 50K on it. I want to run this number up again, and then I'm going to withdraw it. And then I know it really helps me. If I have too much money on the trading platform, literally, I'm just more vulnerable of taking unnecessary risk here or there. Because I don't.
Yeah, mind
Carry
games
that
all the
much.
time.
Mind game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not. You don't have any material goals for now that I don't know. You do want a Lamborghini, or you do want that holiday in.
Well, I had an amazing holiday, man. I went to the Amalfi Coast, and that was beautiful. Yeah, that was really beautiful in Italy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you
My brother was there this year, I believe.
in the Amalfi Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just. Yeah, me too. So it was. yeah, that was an amazing trip. That's also for me what it's all about, just different experiences. Especially where I'm located right now in Holland. Yeah, if you have a car there, it's gonna take so long to get anywhere. And I want to
Right.
move either way, so
Yeah.
not looking at anything materialistic right now.
How's your Spanish?
It's harder than trading. Yeah.
I'm amazed because because we are in that sense we're the opposite. My Spanish is quite good. Like you, I had a Spanish girlfriend, but I actually, I went for that learning curve instead of the trading. But your Spanish, man, it's just does not progress when I every it's just. I mean, it's amazing. You're an intelligent person, but it's the whole pronunciation. I don't know the verbs that you use. It's just like it just.
I'm having
kills me.
I'm having so much trouble with that R pronunciation. I'm really not the
Yeah.
yeah.
Arriba.
Yeah. I'll get there. I just need to put in more hours.
De Miranda? Arriba. Arriba, abajo, el centro, por dentro. Okay.
See.
Tranquilo, but,
I don't know. You really shoot your back and put your back into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I have to, man. I have to.
I think. Well, we also ask our guests to bring an object with you.
Yeah.
What did you bring?
So when you told me that I had to bring a certain object, I was kind of thinking around, because you said something meaningful, and I only have like one thing that I keep on my desk when I'm trading, and it's actually a picture of me and my girlfriend here. I don't know if they can see it. Yeah, just like shot this in Paris, but it's the only thing I have, and it's more a reminder that you want to be able to provide for other people, especially also you with having a family. Like, I can be happy with just a nice apartment at a decent location, train hard in the gym and kickboxing and trade, eat good foods, and that's it. But you want to, I really get gratification out of giving people close to me like everything that they want. And I don't care that much about me personally in that sense. And I've also told other people and other traders this. It's like you wanna stick to your trading plan. Put something meaningful on your desk of like an external motivation as to why you're doing this. Because doing it only for yourself is oftentimes harder to get the needed motivation. But if you're also doing it for others, and that external motivation can really drive you. So every single time you don't stick to your trading plan, it's basically just like a fuck you to the people close to you.
Right.
Because, you can give them so much if you can follow your system and execute it consistently. So not doing so is basically also hindering the experience that they could have if you can provide it. And this is the only thing I have on my desk. So I just brought this with me because that's super meaningful to me.
Great story. Great motivation.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. It's really like, when you have your goals written and the way you're going to get there by doing ABC, like this is just a reminder to keep you focus on track.
Right. Great.
You still have your big painting, right?
Yeah.
And it's much more chaotic in a way.
yeah. But I also like it. Not the chaoticness, but the painting. Yeah. Obviously, it's bigger than the picture, but it also often tends to remind me of, what we've done so far.
So another format this year is the quick question round. Like the formula goes, a couple of quick questions, and the final question is a yes or no. It's up to you to start, man.
Let's go. Who is your hero?
Me.
Living in the Netherlands or abroad?
Abroad.
What meal do you cook well?
Eggs.
Right. Who should we follow on Twitter?
Me.
Final question. A yes or no answer, please. Will we see 30K for Bitcoin ever again?
No.